All right, market report. We sold calves. Prices are high. These were not the best calves we've sold by far, okay? But they are the most expensive. Okay, we're going to get our new bull. Probably not what you're gonna expect, and I'll give you a hint. We think he's gonna pack on the pounds to our calves. Show 'em. It's a tick-borne disease. There are cattle dying actively as we speak. Because y'all told all the stupid people they shouldn't be doing it, and they just gave up. But not us. We're like cockroaches. You can't kill us out. Hey everybody, I am Ty and you are watching Wallace Family Farm and Outdoors. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. As you can see, we've got the skid steer behind us and we've got a lot of brush to clear. We're gonna start today by working on that. We're gonna work on that for a few hours and then we're gonna pick up right where we left off in the last video and go get our new bull. Very exciting. We got our calves selling in just a few hours. We're gonna see how they bring and we got a lot going on. This video may just be this one day. We got so much to do. I want to show you guys what we're working on real quick. So this is kind of a central area on our place where the cows are. And as you can see, it's got some grown up stuff. So I came in here with a little excavator last year and I tore out a lot of stuff, but we've still got all this little kind of scrubby tree, elm, cedars, thorn stuff that we need to take out. You might be thinking, well, why don't you just come in there with a brush hog and brush hog a lot of that down? It's because this is full of rocks. There's a lot of hidden rocks, and obviously I don't want to run the brush hog into a nice big rock. So we're going to come in here, we're going to clean as much as we can with the skid steer. I got the drone fired up, and we're going to get to work. But my thinking is every bit that I open up for the cows, that's another blade of grass they have access to, more for them to eat, and hopefully the healthier they are. So they're over there eating right now and we're gonna get to work. Okay, so we got that up there cleared and we got this kind of cleared and turned into a brush pile. I've been working on making another little brush pile over here, but I'm kind of starting to, you know, a big part of this is going to be putting on the grapple and pushing stuff that I've already cleared with that excavator, pushing it together. And another part of this is our blind. We've got our hunting blind up there and we want to be able to see down here into this field during deer season. But I'm kind of starting to realize a big part of this needs to be making a fire break, and we need to use fire and chemical to do part of our job for us. The higher you get on that hill, the worse the rocks get. For instance, this one over here next to this tree, they're just hidden all over. So instead of going all the way up that hill and getting into rocks, I think we need to use fire to take out the cedars that we can and chemical to get the rest. It's just a lot of elm and nasty trees. Probably hack and squirt with a hatchet and chemical would be best, but I'm gonna keep on working this way. Maybe I can get my tree puller and push that up and try to get into that and this stuff over here. I think I sprayed maybe that with remedy. That's why that's dying. I can't remember. There's a lot over there. Obviously, I'm not looking to get the skid steer in a bunch of rocks is what I'm trying to say. So we're trying to stay out of them as much as we can. Okay, we've been working on this for an hour and a half or so. Kind of just trying to pile stuff up, and then we're gonna go get the grapple and really come push it together. You see, like down here, all this stuff. Wind is so bad I didn't figure I could make a tripod work, but we may try it with the grapple. My plan is I'm just gonna take all that stuff, push it into that, and I won't even have to pull that stuff up. I'm just gonna light that on fire and it'll burn and kill that big jungle of stuff. Got another big pile going down here. Same thing. I'm gonna take that pile, push it into the pile underneath that tree, and let fire do its job and kill that tree out, because it's just a big elm tree and I don't want it. Then we got a bunch of kind of grapple work to do with old dead stuff, and it's the time where I wish I had a mulcher. This would be a lot quicker, but with the price of mulchers, sometimes you just gotta get done what you can get done with what you got. Try to do it smart. Try to not sweat the small trees. So if you're saying, man, you're missing a bunch of trees, we're not gonna sweat the small trees right now, because we're gonna come in here with some fire, hopefully next winter before spring, and let fire do its job and let it take out a lot of them. Kind of the same thing. I've got another pile going down here. Set this pile on fire, and whenever it burns, it'll burn into all that stuff and hopefully kill it. So kind of a hard to maintain area of the place, just because I don't want to get down here and get into rocks with a brush hog. I do think we are opening up a lot of grass to get sunlight, and you know, the cows can eat around these little trees. We're gonna have to figure out how to make some good fire breaks so we can burn this. I'm thinking Roundup, just make Roundup trails until I've got bare dirt. You know, people come in with dozers and stuff and they doze out a fire break. If you've got, or even a disc, you go in there with a disc and you disc fire break. If you've got, you know, let's say a 10-foot wide path, why not just go in there with Roundup, do it a couple times, that way it's just dirt, and kind of the same thing, but you didn't have to bring in a dozer or a disc. And for his food plots, he would just Roundup it several times, and when he went to plant his food plot, it was just bare dirt. So anyway, let's go hook up to the grapple. Okay, making some progress. Got all that pushed up. Just got some little stuff out here now. Probably at some point gonna try to come back and get some of these taller trees. We're gonna go over here and push this last pile up. Then we're gonna be getting close to calling probably and seeing what our steers brought. Got to push that pile up too. Let me know what you guys think about that. It's kind of an idea I had, but not. I watched a guy do food plots. Lots of junk over here, but the only way to take care of it. It's one bite at a time, and it's what we're trying to do. Okay, we're going to get our new bull. You guys drop a comment. What do you think it's going to be?
Probably not what you're going to expect.
Probably not what you're going to expect, and I'll give you a hint. We think he's going to pack on the pounds to our calves.
It's really not one that we had, or not one that I had really considered until we went over to look at these bulls, so kind of exciting.
I'll tell you the backstory. I went and talked to our neighbor about borrowing her aerator, and she said that she bought this particular breed of bull, and his calves were outperforming Angus bulls by leaps and bounds. And so I never had really considered it before then, and we went to go talk to the guy we're buying the bull from. He has a lot of bulls. I mean, he's a big operation, and he said he's been selling them for 20 years, and they very much outperform Angus. Here's the catch. They're not really known for replacements. So that's your second or third hint, I guess.
Kind of changes the dynamic of our herd.
Changes what we're going to do, and we're probably going to, and we have been doing what they call a terminal herd, or, you know, basically we're probably not going to keep very many replacement heifers.
Which we haven't really done here recently.
Which we haven't done for several years anyway. And so, which that kind of got me on this new bull. You know, that was part of the reason for wanting a new bull is you know, and bring some better genetics and keep replacements. Well, if you don't keep replacement heifers, you're not so worried about picking the right one and genetics and all this stuff. So
we just go buy what we want.
Maybe more interesting because we're going to be buying replacements, and we can buy something. Maybe we want to go buy a red Angus. Like, I want some red Angus baldies. I don't know why, but I think those would be super cool. Or maybe we could go buy some black baldies, or, you know, just kind of frees up the ability to get out and do something a little bit different every now and then. So we're excited. We're headed that way. I've called, and they told me what the calves brought, and I'm honestly afraid to even say it until I get the check in my hands. So that's another part of this is it seems like calves or cows in general, beef in general, I guess I should say, is through the roof. Don't know how long this is going to last, but we've been told there's droughts in the northern states. There's droughts in western Oklahoma. So when there are droughts, obviously that's going to bring the beef herd down, and it's already smallest it's ever been. So it's just kind of wild times. Okay, you guys, the big reveal. What do you think he is? Show him.
Dun, dun, dun.
Charolais.
Did you ever guess this is what we'd get? I didn't.
So we went and looked at Jim Dismuke's Ranch in Shakota. If you're looking for an Angus or Charolais bull, super nice guy, great to deal with, ton of information.
Very knowledgeable,
very big operation, a lot to choose from, and obviously like quality cattle. And we went and looked. We looked at some Angus bulls, and we weren't really considering Charolais
until we got there.
Until we got there, and he was like, "Man, if you've been using an average Angus bull, and I don't think this bull is average, but if you got an average Charolais bull, it's going to outperform that Angus bull by a lot." So this is a very nice bull, in my opinion. We left there and we hadn't really decided what to do. And he took us out where the bulls were eating, and the bulls had kind of wandered off. So as we were leaving, we ran back into the bulls. And so we just got out and went and walked out into them. And we picked this bull out, and we thought he was particularly handsome. And so I texted him, and he came back up there on the four-wheeler. And we looked at some bulls, and we left, and he sent me the EPD list for all of his bulls, and I put it into ChatGPT and said, and ChatGPT is crazy because I've already been talking to it about our cows and all that stuff, so it knew our cow situation, and I put in those EPDs, and it picked out this bull, which is the same bull we picked out in the pasture. I think he's very handsome, and we're excited to have him, so let's let him out and hope that he doesn't go nuts and come after us or run away. He does have like a little skin spot on his leg where either from getting in the trailer or he just was semen tested and wormed and all that stuff. So we were going to spray some wound stuff on there. Not anything even very big.
Literally just like not even really a skin tear, I wouldn't say.
Just like a little scrape in his hide.
Yeah.
So.
All right, big boy.
We're going to keep feeding him while we're waiting on to let him out with the cows. So.
I'm nervous.
Huh?
Said I'm nervous.
We need help with names. Smokey, Whitey, Marshmallow. You guys
any other good options that y'all have?
any name options, help us pick one. So
I think I'll hide behind the gate. It's like, what is this place? Please don't leave.
He's handsome.
Yeah, he's very, very pretty, very muscular.
So these Angus bulls and these Charolais bulls are getting fed together, right? The Angus bulls are just fat, and these Charolais bulls are like a hoss.
I told Ty, I was like, they almost look like Belgian blues. They're so
they
muscular.
almost look like if you've seen the Belgian blue, they have a genetic defect that causes them to overproduce myostatin, which causes an abundance of muscle. He's not too far from that. He's a good-looking guy, and he didn't try to
kill us
when he got us. So.
He got mad at me earlier because we got pizza and I told him he couldn't have any.
So we're stopped next to the gas station getting the boys something to eat for dinner, and this guy pulls out, and he's like stopped in the road, and he's like, "Man, it's a good-looking bull." He's like, "Where'd you get him?" And I told him, and he's like, "Oh man, I got 3 bulls from him." And then Kirsten comes out with pizza for the boys, and she goes, "No pizza for you." and he turned and got a crazy look and shook the whole trailer and started snorting at her. So
he didn't like that.
Pretty funny.
Well, it's very exciting. Very, very big changes for our little herd.
Different for us, so.
But like you said earlier, I think we're just kind of behind the times with the
We're trying to be better cattle business people. And the business of cattle is putting pounds of calves on the ground. And so that's what we're trying to do. What do you guys think? And we're seeing, people are retaining Charolais cows. We just don't know. We don't know how much retaining we're going to do. I don't know. I think it'd be fun to go buy a few heifers every few years, you know, if that was the budget. Oh, look, you saw a rabbit.
Scare him, or he's like, what is this place and what is all this grass?
Yeah, the place he came from, he's running such a big operation. They're
on the full feed program with not grass.
So Quade, Buck, and I worked on this electric fence here for the steers. You guys been harping on us to do electric fence, and I was like, man, it'd be really good to run for the steers. So we just did a single strand. They've been testing it. We'll put that video of them trying it out right here. I can't believe they keep going back and trying it. Maybe it's not hot enough for them.
They're testing it to see how much they can take.
Now here comes the last one. He's like, let me up there.
He licked it.
But it's working pretty well. We just got a single strand, and what we did is, see, I got a dumpster for all of our metal. I'm gonna try to collect a bunch of metal in there. Anyway, off topic. We're just piggybacking it off of the pig electric fence. And so far so good. It's working pretty well. We're letting them enjoy a lot of green grass that they wouldn't get to otherwise. At this point, they're eating a lot of corn, and we got about a month left until they go to the butcher. So hopefully we get them really nice and fat. This is by far the most work we've ever done feeding out calves. So we're excited to see how they taste. Number 8 here, he's looking pretty thick. And then number 7 behind him is a big boy. But number 8, he by far looks the juiciest. Do you think they feel kind of weird with us talking about them like that?
Oh no, they're looking at us like I don't know. They're all just like staring at us. Those kind of.
I think they know what we're talking about, so they're giving us the evil eye right now. All right, I want to hear y'all's funniest story about your spouse losing something that you own. So this morning I was going to work. Kirsten took the kids she went with Quade's class to a field trip to like a science museum. I put my keys right on the counter and I said, hey, if you want to get the camera, keys are in my truck. Or I'm sorry, here's the keys to my truck. The camera's in the truck. I'm not kidding. 30 minutes later, she calls me. She says, your keys aren't here. I can't find them. Okay, well, I put them right in the middle of the counter. They're not there. So I get home from work today and I can't find the keys to my truck. Do you guys want to guess? We looked for 30 minutes, can't find these keys anywhere. Finally, I said, go look in your purse. So I see her out there in the front of her car and she's digging through her purse and she's like, she's giving me attitude. They're not here, you lost them. And blaming Buck, really messed up stuff. And then she looks in her back seat and you just see her, oh. She put the keys, the car seat, she put the keys underneath the car seat in her car. So if you got any funny stories about your spouse losing something, put them in the comments. Woo, come on. Can't believe they haven't eaten more than that. Look at the babies having a race back there. Come on. Oh my gosh. That's funny. Woo, come on. Woo. Guess that doesn't really, keeping heifers doesn't really align, although that bull is a good birth weight for Charolais. Maybe keeping her as a heifer doesn't align with our long-term plans. I don't think we've talked to you guys about our steer question. We've got a steer that's a little bit bigger than the others. I'm gonna guess he weighs 1,100 pounds, 1,200 pounds. He's about that much taller than the rest. These calves brought so much, our question was, should we just load him up and take him to the sale instead of feeding him out? Kind of for context, he hasn't been getting fed as long as the other steers because he was over here with the cows. We brought him home a few months ago, and kind of the question is, should we just take him and sell him because they're bringing so much money instead of trying to feed him out? If we kept the other three and sold him, our steers would be a little bit more uniform in size. He's bigger, he's less fat, he's more frame, I guess you would say. Here's our cow that had the foot issue. She's still got a little bit of a limp. She's doing a lot better. Keep an eye on her. Smokey!
Whitey!
She does the same thing with our kids. And you might say, well, Ty, how does she do that with your kids? Well, it's because we name our kids names and then we don't call them by those names. We call them something else. And then she wants to go back to what they're actually named.
Oh, well, what a crazy idea.
Smokey!
Whitey!
Look at that snake. Is that a bad snake? Doesn't look like it.
I don't think so. I don't know where he went.
I don't want to be your friend. Well, I imagine when all the cows left, he took off walking, trying to see where they were going.
When are we going to put him in with the cows? How long does it take for them to come back in heat after they've had a calf?
Why are you putting me on the spot with these questions?
That's something we should know, isn't it, if we're going to get our calving on the same page?
Let me get back to my phone. I'll ask ChatGPT. I think 90 days. You guys tell me if I'm right. I'm spitballing off the top of my head. I think 90 days.
Do we still have cows that are due to calve, or?
Hey, what do I look like? Freaking Wizard of Oz, like all-knowing?
Well, you're the
Have you seen me break out
cow-calf manager.
Have you seen me break out the ultrasound machine? I don't know.
I didn't know if you knew, like, they should be. You know, usually you're pretty good at knowing.
The guy that commented, some people shouldn't have cows, you're making him feel real good right now, making me look stupid. He's going to be on there like, yep, see, I told you shouldn't have cows. Some people shouldn't have cows. If you guys think we're bad now, you should have seen us 10 years ago. Man, would have been a really good YouTube channel.
Come a long ways.
We've come a long way, but we've still got so far to go.
Yeah. Hey, I think our
But
cows
hey,
are pretty...
you know, on a serious note, don't be out there hating on people trying to do stuff. And if you hated on everybody, nothing would ever get done. Nobody would try anything. If only the professionals and the people that know what they were doing, if they're the only people doing anything, not very much is going to get done.
But guess what? They didn't know it either at one point.
Yeah, it takes a whole lot of people not knowing what they're doing to figure stuff out. And the amount of people farming, raising cattle, involved in agriculture keeps shrinking. So every time you're out there hating on somebody, trying to figure it out instead of helping them, maybe that's one less person that's gonna help feed the country, and eventually ain't gonna be nobody. It's gonna be Tyson, it's gonna be Bill Gates, and with all his land he's bought, and you're gonna have like these huge operations because y'all told all the stupid people they shouldn't be doing it, and they just gave up. But not us. We're like cockroaches. You can't kill us out. All right, market report. We sold calves. Prices are high. Breaking news. Some perspective. We had a heifer. She had one eye was white from pink eye. We had some calves who had spots from pink eye.
We had MJ who fell in the pond.
MJ who had fallen in the pond. We had like, these were not the best calves we've sold by far, okay? But they are the most expensive. There's prices. If you're curious about what stuff's selling for, it's expensive. Buck, one of our loyal viewers, commenters, you hit the nail on the head. He said $2,300 a head average, and I mean almost exactly. So that's why, you know, I was asking earlier about should we take that steer to the sale, because prices are just astronomical. Is that good, bad? Hey guys, we care about the country. We care about people buying meat. Is it good that cattle prices are really high? No. It's good for people with cows, but, you know, it's going to raise the cost of food. So it is what it is. It's kind of scary times too. I was just talking to a guy that bales hay, you know, and he's like, $5 a gallon diesel baling hay. That's crazy. And then you've got, we're all so weather dependent. What if there's a drought? You know, my thing is, what if there's a drought on top of $5 a gallon diesel? What would hay be? $150 a bale? So kind of wild times, but that's about as fresh a market report as you're going to get, unless you're going to the sale every week. So.
You know something else funny?
What?
Your microphone's not even on.
You handed it to me. Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't know until we were...
Should we show them the ear tags?
Done. Sure. I'm not on my game today.
I don't know anybody with black around here, do you?
I don't look as good as what pink would look.
Kirsten wanted pink. We've been using green. We went with black. I like the black and white look.
They're not really black and white, though. They're like black and dirty gray.
You can't please them, you guys. They lose your keys.
Not
you
what I
guys
would've
out there know
picked.
what I'm talking about. You can't please them.
Not what I would have picked.
And then we got set up to give an oral drench. Talking to Jim that we bought the bull from, he told us about, so we bought Safeguard, and that's because I have no experience with oral drench wormers. They have a ton of experience. He said they use, I think it's called Synthetech.
Something like that.
Maybe Google that if you're wanting to buy some. But he said you use about a quarter of the amount of Safeguard you would use. And with Safeguard, since you're using so much, you're going to spill some on the ground. Once again, we're learning as we go. Did I tell him about the guy, what he told us about the guy using the cheap wormer?
Mm-mm.
We try to do good worming. I used long range last fall, and he was like, well, you probably should use that in the spring. Okay. And
What
then,
did he say, 3 times a year?
Yeah, but he's using an oral drench. And we've used Ivomec pour-ons quite a bit and stuff. He said that he had an issue with a bull. A guy bought a bull from him, and it went downhill. And the guy had been using a cheap pour-on wormer. And I was like, well, I use like Ivomec and stuff from Tractor Supply. Is that what you consider cheap? Apparently there's some cheaper than that. Like, as long as you're using a name brand wormer, you're probably okay. But this guy had bought like the cheapest possible wormer that he could, and he was using it as fly control. So like every week he was going out there and worming this bull with this cheap wormer and using it as fly control, and that built up like a parasitic resistance to the wormer in the worms in the bull, and the bull went downhill. He was about to sell it. Obviously, it was probably a pretty expensive bull, and a vet was like, tell him to get a better, different wormer, like an oral drench wormer, and worm the bull that way. The bull picked back up, and everything was fine. So stuff like that, you hear a lot about animals like going downhill, and it kind of makes me wonder how much of that is worms and cattle just being overwhelmed with them. So we're going to try the oral drench wormer. He was telling us he's got a really nice setup, obviously, huge operation. He's got a hydraulic chute where it like pins the cow's head. We don't have that, but we're going to do our best. You got to hook them in the mouth and give it to them. So could be a rodeo. Kirsten's going to get her, cowgirl hat on and spurs. She may have to spur some. Okay, so Quade caught about, what do you think, 1.5 pound, 2 pound bass, maybe. We're going to go put it in our little pond back here behind our house. I don't think we've shown Bluebell lately. He's doing great. He's our 4th child. When he's hungry, he's our most obnoxious child. But he basically runs around with the dogs and hangs out all day. Lays around on the porch, uses the bathroom where he wants. So with Bluebell, we're still on the Hope fencing program. We hope he doesn't leave. And it's working out pretty well so far. He really, I don't think we've told you guys this either, and I didn't know it until I saw it the other day. He eats dog food he eats dog food. Yeah, crazy. I never thought. Oh, you're brave. Quade just went over that fence, grabbed it, and went over it. Here are the steers. Number 8 is looking particularly fat. I think I said that the other day. Number 8 is slick.
I think we put another bass in here, didn't we?
Yep. And we put some, remember we put several fish in here. Hey, let him go, bro, so he lives. Or her. Him or her. We don't want to misgender the fish. Not a bad bass. Here we go. There he goes. To live another day.
Mm-hmm.
Did you catch any other fish tonight?
Uh-huh.
What were you down there digging under rocks about?
Oh yeah, I was trying to like put rocks around an area so he could sit there and I could go get a bucket to put water in.
So I drove the tractor down because I wanted to brush hog across the creek, and I was going across the creek crossing, and I look over and Quade's just like arm deep, like digging under rocks. I didn't know if he was trying to noodle a catfish or what he was doing. Here's that steer that I was thinking about taking to the sale barn. He's a pretty big boy. He's about up to my neck as far as how tall he is. We got to hit them with the fly spray, Quader. They're starting to get some flies on them, so I think tonight whenever I feed them, I'll hit them with fly spray. And the pigs probably have more fun than anybody around here. They just live in their pig jungle and give you guys some words of advice. If you're looking at Idaho pasture pigs, the black and white ones seem to grow so much better than the solid colored pigs. Don't have a clue why, but that's been our experience with these are pig number 5 and 6 that we've had. The black and white ones do quite a bit better than the other ones. So I guess I can't call the first pig that didn't grow as well solid colored, but when you're picking out pigs, get the black and white ones. I'll put it that way. They grow really well. Okay, you guys have been on me about something for a long time, and I wanted to show you what I did. I got it. We're with Redmond, okay? We got the Redmond garlic. I bought 3 of them. I'm in the process of figuring out how we can go all Redmond. We're gonna do the Redmond beef mineral, the Redmond conditioner, the Redmond garlic salt. We're doing it. I'm trying. But the first step was we got those salt blocks because they're really, those were an hour away from me. I bought 3, one for the new bulls pasture, one for the cows, and one for the steers. So I had to go an hour to get those. So keep that in mind. It's not the easiest thing to find. Redmond, if you're listening out there, I don't know. Oklahoma wants you to be here, or at least we do. So that's one thing. I need you guys to stick with me for a minute because I want to tell you a story and I want to get your input on something. So in 2021, we bought 10 heifers and a bull. We had a lot of problems. We had 1 heifer die. We had 2 or 3 aborted calves. I think we only wound up out of those 10 bred heifers, we only wound up with 3 calves that lived. So fast forward, we made it through that. I had a vet come out. The vet couldn't figure out what it was. It kind of was always a question mark. We thought maybe anaplasm. And let's fast forward a little bit, a couple years. I heard there was a disease in my area, in our area, Kirsten and I's area, that shouldn't be here. It's a tick-borne disease. I will put like a little infographic, or I'll have Kirsten put an infographic right around here. That way you guys can read it while I'm talking. And this disease should not be here, but it is. Apparently, at least 2 people have had cattle in their herd killed by it. There are cattle dying actively as we speak. Our herd, probably most of them have been exposed, but it's going around. It's here. So that's why I'm following you guys' advice. We're feeding the Redmond with the garlic. We're fly spraying. But here's what I'm wondering. I want to buy a self-contained back rubber / mineral feeder / rubbing spot, I guess you would call it, from a company called Go Bob, which is here in Oklahoma. And we'll put that up there so you can see what I'm talking about. Here's my question. My thinking is I'll take that number 7 steer, that biggest steer that we have, and sell him at the sale barn, partially to just see really what they're worth and make sure we're not underselling ourselves when we sell those other calves for meat, because the calf prices are so high. And then I'll take that money and I'll reinvest that into that self-contained rubbing spot mineral feeder that puts out the oil, you know, that's the anti-fly, anti-tick stuff, and also a new trough for the farm, or for the place over here for the cows, a 20-foot steel trough. So I would like to get your opinion on that. For context, that self-contained rubbing spot is $2,700, but I do think it will help us go a long way to preventing flies, preventing ticks, keeping the cattle healthier. The cows are worth so much money right now. The calves are worth so much money right now. The bull is worth so much money right now. I hate to have anything get sick over something we could have prevented. So just kind of thought I'd check with y'all, see what y'all think. I think it's a good investment for the long run. If it lasts us 10 years, that seems like a lot of flies that it would keep off. So that whole thing wicks that oil and puts out the whatever repellent, you know, that you put in there with the oil to keep flies and ticks and stuff off. So you guys ponder about that, leave a comment. I really want to know what you think, because sometimes I'll think something's a good idea and other people are like, that's a terrible idea. But such is life. Happy Mother's Day to all you moms out there. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms in our life. Obviously, Kirsten is a mom herself, so please give her a subscribe and a like and a comment. Happy Mother's Day. She does all the legwork for this thing, a lot of work on videos, thumbnails, trying to put out something good for you guys. She has put a lot of effort into doing this. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you stick with us and come back next week, and we'll see you then.